Margarita Teodoro. I'm 49 years old, and I had been working different jobs since I came here to Japan, but the recent one is as a legal assistant in a law firm here in Shizuoka City, wherein I assist Filipinos, mostly Filipinos who are needing assistance. So that's what my job is right now. I do translations and interpretations most of the time. It's actually the Association of Pinoy Volunteers for Assistance. It's called APiVA as a abbreviation. And then what we do actually is, this is an organization wherein we assist Filipinos. It is consisting of volunteers, on-call volunteers mostly, Filipino on-call volunteers as well as Japanese, to assist especially those who are displaced and those who need assistance too, like if they need interpreters. But the main thing that we do actually is to assist the Philippine Embassy in their consular missions or outreach in our prefecture. Well, I started here as not exactly a performing artist kasi when I started, I only stayed here for probably 3 months as a model. And then, it was my part-time job. I was in college then, and then during the holidays, I was asked to come over. And then I used to do choreography, dance choreography. Well, it's a cultural dance choreography, wherein I was asked to come over, and then, as a model, because I was working with glamour people that time. And since then, when I got married in 1989. It was an early marriage. Then that was only the time when I came here and continued as a choreographer, a dance choreographer. And then I wasn't able to learn proper Japanese that time, but since it's very difficult to communicate, so you only have the chance to talk with Filipinos in the evening. So since I was married, I had to stay at home. And there are times that when you try to explain to people, especially people within your household, and you have difficulties in explaining, you don't have the choice but to learn on your own. So I self-studied, and then I started working as a basic English teacher. So mostly I teach to young kids within our area in Shizuoka, where I live then. And unfortunately, after a few years, around 7 to 8 years of marriage, I got divorced. And then I had to take my kids back home to the Philippines because I wasn't strong enough to face life then, since I still don't have, the ability to speak well, to understand Japanese well. So I'm not really good in handling my children or even taking care of them here alone. So I had to take them to the Philippines because I was thinking that they would have a better life there with real people loving them. So I don't have to worry about it. So I had to fix my life and let them finish college. So during those days, I was here working from one company to another. And luckily, since I have learned the Japanese on my own, I don't know if I'm really that good enough, but somehow companies hire me to translate and interpret for them. So there were companies like Mitsubishi and the sub companies like Yamazaki, wherein they asked me to translate and interpret for them. And those translations were used for their application in establishing another company in another country, like in Thailand. So I was asked to travel there, and then after that, uh, I was also a volunteer volunteer that time in our local government there in Shizuoka. And then that was the time in 2001 that I was part of establishing the first Filipino community there. That's the Filipina Kama organization. And after my term as the sixth president in 2011 to 2014, I established the Association of Pinoy Volunteers for Assistance. So that was when it started, our organization. It's actually an umbrella of the Filipino Nakama organization. So since the Nakama organization is handling those with the LGUs in Shizuoka, we as a Filipino community there, as the umbrella of that Filipino community too, the Filipina Kama, the APiVA actually supports the outreach programs of the Philippine Embassy. So that's the difference there. If you can see, most of the Filipinos here in Japan suffer a lot of difficulties, especially in having their, what do you call this, having themselves or expressing themselves to, let's say, in some cases, there are cases that they need an interpreter because they get bullied, or sometimes they suffer from their husbands. So there are also displaced Filipinos who need assistance, but yet they don't know where to and whom to ask for help and assistance. They don't even know how to, contact even the Philippine Embassy. So we are really very happy that the Philippine Embassy started these consular missions. And I, in fact, offered to the Philippine Embassy then, that was Ma'am Dominique Kitade, who was the first to come to Shizuoka to offer their consular mission there. And just for a day, even for just a day, people there, the Filipinos there, are really grateful that the Philippine Embassy is trying to reach out to them. I think it is really significant for him to be here because I'm quite sure that they would be taking up issues wherein it is something that they would be discussing. There would be intense discussions about, what's going on with the world today, especially with the role of Asia to the world. And probably during this visit, there would be lots of discussions that would be discussed, wherein all attendees will be learning on doing for the betterment of Asia itself and for their countries. So with the political, economic, and academic leaders who are attending this time, I guess they would be learning a lot, and I really hope that they could come up to a solution on doing everything for the betterment of Asia and for the whole world, as well as for their countries. Lots of Filipinos really know about this visit. They've heard some from the news, the others, they've seen it on the internet, but they're not really sure, probably, on the real reason why our president will be coming and what he will be doing here. So they're just excited. Filipinos, they love the president. I do love him because he's really a working president. And with this visit, I'm sure he could probably give something for his colleagues who will be attending, something that they would learn from him and how he manages the Philippines right now. Mr. President, thank you so much talaga for loving us all Filipinos. As the leader of our small group here in Shizuoka, we are actually having this motto of planting a seed of good deed, wherein wherever you are as a Filipino, we are so proud. And we are so proud too that you are trying to pull us up and you are trying to help us to become a better country. And as a father of our nation, I really hope for the best for you. I pray to God that He will guide and protect you at all times. We will be planting the seed of good deed for you too. We will be following you, and we will be having your back. Thank you very much, po.